Hi everyone, my name is Shelby Tour and I currently host a blog website to help with self-confidence, self-image issues, women empowerment, mental health issues, just struggling through all the typical things that we do on a daily basis. It's called A Transparent Shit Show, and I'm not really here to touch on the blog itself. More so, I just wanted to dive into one of the most common topics that I go over or I hear about or I have feedback on. And yes, I'm relatively new to this, so there probably won't even be that many views on this video, but that's fine. I'm making it for the 2 people that watch it. That's okay with me. That being said, one of the biggest issues that I think we all have or we have struggled with in our past, at least one point in our life we have struggled with this, is self-image, self-confidence, loving yourself. They kind of all go hand in hand, really. That being said, there are so many steps you can take towards loving yourself completely, accepting yourself, and realizing that you don't need to be anyone except for you. And that's one of the hardest things to realize. In a society where we have all these expectations of how these celebrities look and how even these YouTubers look, or how the girl in the grocery store looks next to you, you don't have to look like her, and you definitely don't have to act like her. One of the biggest things that I've heard in my lifetime, and I think we've all heard it at one point, and it's been a slogan for many companies, is why blend when you were born to stand out? And a lot of us don't really take the time to stop and think about this and ponder it. But really, it's a good question. Why are you trying so hard to blend in with what everyone else wants from you when you are perfectly okay the way you are? And I say this from experience because I have not always been the most self-confident person there is. Trust me, it took me a very hard time to get to where I'm at right now in as far as self-confidence goes. I'm still not where I want to be 100%, but the biggest thing about that is that I don't beat myself up anymore. So I kind of want to go over in this video a few different things that might help you realize that you are good enough how you are, that it's okay to have bad days because we all do. But don't beat yourself up for them, and don't make yourself feel worse than what everyone else does. Like, you're already giving your power away to so many different people, but you can't give your power away to yourself, because as soon as you take away your own power, let's face it, you feel worthless. And you might be in that situation right now, but I'm here to help you gain it back. So I guess the first thing I have to say is stop apologizing for who you are. And I did do a blog on this recently, but stop apologizing for who you are. And what I mean by that is, like, yeah, it's great to apologize and be empathetic towards a situation or a person or something that someone's going through. You have every reason to apologize and be like, I'm sorry you're going through that. That's fine. But when you start apologizing for who you are, you kind of lose sight of who you are. And I know that from personal experience that I was so lost at one point in my life that I started apologizing for everything that made me who I was. Started apologizing for being emotional. I'm a woman, one, and I know that that's not like, I'm not trying to play like some stigmatism about women being emotional, but I am emotional, and I accept that. I started apologizing for that. I started apologizing for going with my gut instinct, because I love going with my gut instinct. Even when it confuses the shit out of people, sorry, my language is bad sometimes, but even when it confuses the shit out of people, I like to go with my gut instinct. And I stopped doing that for a while because of what everyone else thought of it. So why would I let someone else take that power away from me when I'm perfectly fine doing what I want to do? And most of the time, it's a good outcome. I mean, I've had some mistakes. I've learned from them. I'm sure we all have. But my gut instinct is pretty spot on sometimes. So I started apologizing for that. I started apologizing for simply feeling something that was against what someone else thought. I started apologizing for the stupidest stuff, like things you shouldn't apologize for. And when I started to realize that I didn't need to apologize for those things, a lot of things started working, like they just started I guess you could say like they were Lego pieces. And as soon as like I stopped apologizing for one thing, a Lego piece would be built on my little platform of self-love and self-vindication. So I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, because it definitely didn't for me, but if you can think of something that you apologize for often, if you apologize for your emotions all the time, like you're someone that feels ashamed you feel the way you do, and so you apologize for it, maybe you can take that step today and just say, hey, I'm not going to apologize for the way I feel, because it's simply the way I feel. I'm not doing anything wrong by feeling the way I feel. Sure, someone could say, well, you're wrong because I didn't mean it that way. And you can be like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I interpreted it wrong. Sorry. But that doesn't mean you need to be sorry for feeling that way at all, or in the first place. A second thing that goes along with all of this is accepting yourself for where you're at right now. All of us have something we need to improve on, okay? Like, I need to stop drinking soda. I know. Soda's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. I need to stop doing it. But I'm not going to beat myself up about it day in and day out. Sorry, say hi to the dog. I'm not going to beat myself up for it day in and day out, because what will that do for me? That'll just bring me down further and make me feel like a piece of shit. And I'm not a piece of shit. I'm actually really awesome. So, and I'm sure you are too. So don't beat yourself up over stupid stuff. Yeah, you might need to work out more. You might want to lose a few pounds. Accept where you are right now. Right now, okay, I'm a little overweight, but I look good. So can you imagine when I do lose a few pounds? I'm going to be awesome. Just start thinking of it in a more positive light. And don't constantly tell yourself all the negative things you need to do, because I'm sure you have a ton of positive aspects to your life that you're overlooking because of the negativity in your life. So accept where you are right now. Even if it's in the worst of places, accept it, because as soon as you accept it, you're able to move on. You're able to move past it. You're able to start looking at it in a different light. And this goes into the other topic, don't let other people shame you or put you down for where you were at or who you are, because those are not the people you need around you. Those are not the positive people that need to be in your life. And so sometimes relationships, friendships, things like that will end when you're on your journey to self-love, because you simply have to be selfish, and you have to realize that selfish is not a negative word. It's not. We're taught that it's negative to be selfish. Oh, you're being selfish because blah, blah, blah. It's not a negative word. You need to put yourself first, because I know a lot of people refer back to it, but like when you are crashing in an airplane, they tell you to put your mask on first, because if you're dead, you can't help anyone else. So the same goes for right now. You might be like me. I love to help other people. I love it so much so that I put myself on the back burner a lot growing up, and on the back burner recently, and that's how I became in a very bad spot, because I was putting everyone else before my needs, and I wasn't listening to my own inner voice telling me what to do, telling me, Shelby, get the fuck out of this mess. Sorry, curse word, I should use a bleeper. But get out of this mess. Don't listen to what other people want you to do. Don't listen to what other people have to say about your problems. Listen to your heart, because I'm telling you, if you start thinking so much about what everyone else thinks, you lose your voice. And no wonder you're not self-confident if you don't have a voice for yourself, or if you're hiding your voice because you think it might help other people, or you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. I hate hurting other people's feelings, so I get it and I can relate to you. But you need to start realizing that you're hurting your own feelings worse than anyone else is hurting them right now, because you simply aren't putting yourself first. And it actually hurts me to say it now, because I did it for so long, so I know how hard it can be on your mental image, your physical image. I will just say, like, I'm not trying to talk, depressing or anything like that, but people go through depression at different stages. There's severe depression, there's just depression where you're depressed for a day and you're like, why can't I get out of this funk? What is going on? The weather's weird, whatever. There's depression on so many different levels. I hit rock bottom about a year ago, to the point where I didn't want to brush my teeth. Ew. But I'm way better now. I'm like the most self-confident person that at least I am capable of being at this moment. And that might go further. Like I might be, levels from this point right now next year. Who knows? But that being said, I accepted where I was a year ago. And when I learned to accept it instead of being in denial of it or instead of making excuses for it, everything started to change. So I'm not saying that change will happen overnight for you if you're struggling with self-confidence issues, self-body shaming issues, or you're worried about what everyone else thinks. It's not going to be solved right, like blink of an eye. Nothing's going to happen. But you need to realize all good things take time. And that's another thing. Patience is my downfall. And I'm sure it's a lot of your downfalls as well. Sorry, the puppies were having a freak out, so now they're like all in my lap. But that being said, we all have downfalls. We all have imperfections. We all have flaws that make us simply who we are. So don't worry about how you deal with being your perfect self. Impress people with how you deal with your imperfections and how you manifest yourself into this person that is just so unapologetically themselves that everyone else around you is like, how the hell did she just get away with saying that right now? And she's just like, she didn't even care. She was just like so vibrant and expressive. Let your true self shine. Something that has always held me back, and it doesn't hold me back anymore, but something that has previously held me back, I guess you should say, is my goofiness, my weirdness, my eccentric hand movements that I'm sure you'll see throughout this video. And what I mean by held me back is that a lot of people in the professional corporate world that I was in would tell me how to act. They would tell me the mannerisms to have around certain people, and that certain people wouldn't respect me if I said this, and certain people wouldn't respect me if I said that. I'm not saying that you don't have to put a professional demeanor on while you're at work. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it's okay to, maybe tone it down in certain atmospheres and stuff, but stop apologizing. Hey! I apparently can't videotape while there's dogs in the room because dog fights happen. But stop apologizing for those little things that make you quirky and make you who you are, and find something or someone that is going to love you for who you are. And there is such things out there. That's why people say chase your dreams, because if you do chase your dreams, something good is bound to happen. And I'm not trying to say quit your job right now and friggin' go surf the world. But if you wanted to do that, I'm not going to hold you back from that. I mean, there might be people that hold you back from that, but I'm certainly not going to be freaking one to hold you back from that. Okay, so those few things said, we've been getting into the things you can stop doing. One of the things that you probably have been told is fake it till you make it. I have a very love-hate relationship with this phrase, because I used to say fake it till you make it all the time when I was going through depression, when I was going through anxiety, when these things happened. But faking it is a little bit different in my mind, because people can see through fake. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work for some people, because a lot of people it does work for. So I'm not trying to put down the expression. But I am trying to say that maybe you should, instead of saying, I'm just going to fake it till I make it, and have that mentality, maybe you should start taking baby steps to actually believing that, instead of telling yourself you're faking it. Because faking it, to me, sounds like you're putting on a mask in front of people. It sounds like you're just going out, putting a smile on your face, trying to have a good time because you know it's what everyone else wants you to do. But in all reality, it's okay to have a shit day and not want to go out. I don't want you to think that means stay in your house all day long every day because you are depressed or going through something, because that honestly did not help me when I tried to do that. But neither did putting on a mask, because everyone I knew, family, friends, everything like that, they knew I was not okay. They knew I was putting on a mask. It wasn't until, sorry to digress or divert, but it wasn't until I told myself, okay, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. How do I fix it? How do I accept where I am right now without judgment? Not judging myself for why I got to where I am, not judging myself about all the other things that people are saying to me or about me, but simply just accepting that where I'm at is a milestone or a stepping stone in the direction that I want to go. And you know what? Looking back now, I would have never thought that I would say this to you or anyone, but I am so glad that I dealt with those issues because it made me reach my full potential. And I don't even think my full potential is actually reached yet. But it made me just be me. Like, I don't apologize for being big, vibrant, bold. I don't apologize for having glitter lips on. I don't care. I didn't even go anywhere today and I have glitter lips on just because I wanted to do something for me. It's not to impress anyone else. And that's the big thing is like, you don't have to do anything to impress anyone else. You don't have to put on a mask to impress anyone else. You literally don't have to apologize for being yourself to anyone else. When you do that, you're basically putting yourself down all the time because you're constantly like fighting who you want to be and who you are. And it's time to just realize that you can take miniature baby steps from going from who you pretend to be or who you put on this facade or this mask telling yourself that you are to actually being that person. So, one, accept it, and I know it's easier said than done. But just tell yourself every day, I'm going to try to accept this about myself and I'm going to move forward from it. I accept right now that I could probably lose a few pounds, if I'm being honest. But do I like the way I look? Yes. Do I judge myself for the way I look? No. Do I let other people judge me for the way I look? No. Not anymore. It used to get to me all the time. But self-confidence is underrated almost these days because people don't take it seriously. But I want you to just not overwhelm yourself with the doubt and don't overwhelm yourself with the what ifs. Just start simply saying to yourself that you're only going to allow this much negativity in a day. And what I mean by that is if you battle negative thoughts all the time about yourself or your image or anything like that, your self-confidence is lacking, tell yourself you're only going to give yourself 10 minutes to do that a day. And what I mean by that is literally push all those thoughts away for the rest of the day. You don't have to tell yourself positive things, but positive affirmations always work. Always, always, always work. So, that being said, go throughout your day doing whatever you want to do. Try not to think about the negative. Give yourself a 10-minute window, maybe even when I don't know if you want to do it before bed because then the negative thoughts might be in your head. Usually what I did is I took 10 minutes before I ate dinner. And I would set a timer on my phone and reflect. Sorry, there's dogs in the background. And I would reflect about all the things that were negative in my mind. My what ifs, my why I'm here and I don't want to be here and blah, blah, blah thoughts. My things that I thought I was judging myself for or other people were judging me for. It didn't matter, but it was only 10 minutes. And as soon as that buzzer went off, I literally put down the pen and told myself I'm not going to think about anything that involves this until my 10 minutes is up tomorrow. And then I would put these thoughts into a jar. And what worked for me is at the end of the week, I would pick out like 5 different thoughts. It depended on the week because sometimes I felt I need to pick out more of these thoughts. But I would pick out 5 thoughts and I would just set fire to them. And I would read them before I set fire to them. And I would basically just symbolize that I'm letting this go. I'm making a conscious decision to let this go right now. I'm not going to hold myself back for that anymore. This video is getting kind of long, so I do want to cut it off. But if you could just start by doing that, that is one baby step in the very, very long journey to fully loving yourself. Because I'm sure you've heard it before, but if you don't truly accept or love yourself for who you are, you won't attract people that accept you and love you for who you truly are. So it's time to start attracting those people that are meant to be in your life forever and get rid of the negative energy that's surrounding you. Clear your space. Take time for you and only you. Tell yourself you'll do that and give yourself positive affirmations that you can do it because I know you can do it and I don't even know you. I haven't probably even met you, but I know you can do it. And I know that if I went from being severely, severely depressed to very, very happy and very, very confident in myself, you can do it too. So this won't be the last post that I have to offer. And if you liked it, please hit like, please share. It would mean the world to me. If you didn't, I accept constructive criticism as well. I totally appreciate either one. But just be you and be happy being you, because there's no one else like you. And no one else can replace you. And I promise you'll live a happier life. Let me know if there's anything you want me to touch upon further. I will do different blogs depending on self-confidence, or determining self-confidence, self-love, even relationship issues, anything of the sort. So if you have anything that you'd like to comment on, please leave it below. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you could really share this video, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of my sparkly lips, let me know. I have different colors. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great night, day, wherever you are. Make it the best.